What's up, y'all? This is Crazy Al Kane, sugarcane.com, CACTV, representing BMX, hip hop, and other dope treats. Today, we are going to be talking about the top 5 bikes that were featured on Bike of the Day in April 2024. So if you didn't already know, I have a series on sugarcane.com called Bike of the Day, where I feature all the dope dirt jumpers and BMX bikes that people submit to the website. It's a real simple process. People come to sugarcane.com, they hit that submit tab on the page, and it takes them to the submit page where they can check out all the instructions on how to submit their bike. If they follow all the directions on how to submit their bike, and if their bike is hot, then I will feature it on the site. Once your bike is featured on the site, people can come and rate your bike based on all the criteria like parts and style. And with that said, let's get into the top 5 bikes, starting with bike number 5, and that bike is a 2018 Airborne Skyhawk dirt jumper submitted by John Caps. This is one of the only dirt jumpers that we got featured on Bike of the Day, and this one came out real fresh. Johnny Caps did his thing on this one right here. But I also need you guys out there, if you got dirt jumpers that are real fresh, I need y'all to send them in, submit them, because we feature dirt jumpers on Bike of the Day if you didn't already know. So please do that. But back to this bike right here. Johnny Caps, representing 2018 Airborne Skyhawk. It's an official dope dirt jumper. It's got a fresh red and gray colorway on the frame. Also got some gold highlights on the stem, headset, hubs, and chain to add a nice little contrast to all the red and gray. And if you look closely at the frame, you'll see all kinds of different details done on the frame that you can sit here and look at for hours. This one is literally a work of art, and this is why I love doing this series, is because you get to see some really cool bikes. Sometimes it'll be customed out with the parts. In this particular case, it's custom out with the parts, but also the paint job, which really took a lot of time to do. So big shout out to Johnny Caps for submitting this bike with all of that freshness. Johnny said he likes bright colors and custom one-off stuff, so he had his buddy take some ideas from some of the things that influence his life and put them on his bike. Now that we know about the inspiration for this build, let's check out those parts, son! So once again, the frame is a 2018 Airborne Skyhawk dirt jumper. He's got the Bomber dirt jumper forks on there, Profile Elite headset, Deity bars. He's got some titanium rainbow spokes on his wheels, along with those gold nipples, profile cranks with a profile bottom bracket, DMR Volt pedals. The custom paint job, the Sharpie drawing with the clear coat, is done by Steve's Shop and Iman Bikes. This definitely goes with the art part of what Sugarcane is about, you know, mixing art with bikes. You know, we're not one-dimensional, we're into multiple things, and this website represents that crossroads of things. You know, so right here we have the art aspect, like a designer art piece, along with BMX. That's definitely a cross-pollination of two different mediums and genres and niches and things like that. So big shout out to John Caps for submitting this bike. This is definitely right up my alley when it comes to what I want to present on Bike of the Day and also on sugarcane.com. You can see some of the intricate art details on there. You see you got caps on the back right there, different patterns. You got the Steve Shop written in there. You got stuff on the inside of the chainstay. There's a lot of things to look at on this bike, so definitely come back to sugarcane.com and give a good look at this bike. So let's talk about the ratings on this bike. What did the people think about this bike? We only got 5 ratings on this bike, and one of those ratings is me, because I always give all the bikes 5 across the boards to begin with, to keep things nice and even and fair for everybody. But only 4 people actually came and gave his bike a rating, and that's pretty sad. I need more people to come and rate these bikes, even if it's not your bike, or you know, you might have people that you want to rate your bike. Have them rate the other bikes too, honestly, of course, but have them rate the other bikes, because I want to see some real honest ratings on this bike, and I want to see a lot more ratings on these bikes. So if you're watching this out there, you know, we get a couple hundred views on these videos. It'd be nice if we can get at least 100 ratings on the bike, or maybe 50 ratings. Would definitely love your participation on this, because you know, it's a fun thing and people put a lot of hard work in these bikes, so it'd be cool to get some feedback on what the public thinks about it. So anyways, overall color score 7.83, originality 7.85, parts 7.54, overall style 8.12, giving this bike an overall rating of a 7.84, which I think it should be higher than that. I think this one in particular should have a way higher rating than a 7.84. So let's get to bike number 4, and that bike is a 2022 S&M Steel Panther with that raw pink and white colorway. The bike was submitted by Adrian H, and he did a real dope job with the color spread on this, you know, with the white seat, white handlebars, white forks, white cranks. He got the pink stem with the classic pink Skyway tough wheels, pink chainring and the pink seat post, pink decals. This one right here has some real nice style to it. I like it. Only thing I don't like really are the Chicago bars. I never was a fan of having your bar Chicago forward like that. But other than that, this bike is fresh. It's got some real colors. The colors really pop out, and I like the contrast with the raw frame. I think that's real fresh. So all Adrian said about the inspiration for this build is fun, speed, pink, America. And that's it. And with that being said, let's check out those parts, son. All right, so once again, he's got an S&M Steel Panther with a 20.5 top tube. He's rocking those S&M Race XLT handlebars with an 8.25 rise, Race XLT forks with a 33mm offset, an S&M Race XLT stem with a 49mm reach, integrated ANSA headset, BTM holder grips, ANSA 3D number plate with an ANSA number 5 sticker, ODI end-plug bar ends, the popular Paul Components Love Lever brake levers. He's got the Paul Components Moto Light brakes, 175mm profile racing cranks. He's got an external profile Euro bottom bracket, 19mm, 44 tooth S&M chainsaw sprocket, reverse component escape pedals, Shadow Conspiracy interlock race chain, the classic Skyway Tough 2s. He's got the classic reissued Tioga Comp 3 yellow label tires, ANSA Pro pivotal seat, S&M Long Johnson pivotal seat post, and the Phil Wood 30mm bolt-on seat clamp. Big shout out to John for having a real detailed part list. Got to really know what kind of parts he has on his bike and also some of the measurements. Now, with that being said, let's check out what the people think about this bike. What kind of ratings did this bike get on Bike of the Day? All right, so this bike did a little bit better. It's got 6 ratings, so you got 5 people who rated along with myself on this bike right here, and the total color score is a 7.93, originality 8.53, parts 7.43, overall style 7.81, giving it an overall score of a 7.93. Now, next bike number 3, and that bike is a 2022 Chase Element Triple XL. This bike is long, y'all, long. This bike was submitted by Anthony Maganello, and he did a great job on putting this bike together. He's rocking that nice teal and black colorway for the Element. He offset it with some red parts, and everything else is black on the bike. The green side plate kind of throws the whole thing off, for me at least. Yeah, green side plate, not popping, but the rest of the bike looks dope. Definitely let me know what you guys think. He's also rocking green on his number plate. It's either State, Gold Cup, or National. I can't remember. But regardless of all of that, big shout out to Anthony Maganello for submitting this bike, and let's see what his inspiration was. So Anthony said he always loved Chase bikes since he returned to BMX. He wasn't sure about getting one when he first came back, but he loved the colorway on his frame and thinks the red accents make it pop. He knew he wanted this the moment he saw it. And now that we know the inspiration for the build, let's check out those parts, son! Alright, so we have a Chase Element Pro Triple XL 20-inch frame with the slate color, not teal, it's a slate color, black and red colorway. ANSA Dagger carbon forks, the Sun Envy rims with Chase hubs, Tioga Power Block tires on the front and the rear. He's rocking a 195 on the front and a 1.75 in the rear. 175mm box 3 cranks. He's got a 44 tooth Insight chainring in red, Insight Pro pedals, Insight seat post clamp, Inferno pivotal seat in red, a Chase seat post, a Insight 31.8mm stem which has a 57mm reach, Chase handlebars on his bike which have the 31.8 clamp, 8.5 inch rise, and 28 inches wide. And last but not least, he's got the ODI Vans flange grips in red. I like the way Anthony kept the majority of the parts under the umbrella of the BMX Racing Group. BMX Racing Group is the parent company to Insight Chase 11 and Position 1. But what do the people think? Do the people think that was dope? So let's go check out the ratings and see how this bike did with the people at large. So this bike actually got more ratings than the other bike, and the people gave this one a 9.01 for color. Originality got an 8.94, parts got an 8.6, overall style got an 8.55, giving this bike a total overall rating score of an 8.78. And he also got a comment on this bike from my dude Ant Dog, who said he likes the frame. So that's what's up. Big shout out to Ant Dog for coming to the site and giving it a comment, and big up to everybody who came and gave his bike a rating, putting it in the bronze position number 3 on sugarcane.com. Okay, so the next bike coming up is in the number 2 position, bike number 2 for April 2024, and that bike is a 2024 Torker side hack 20-inch one-of-a-kind crazy bike right here. Torker Racing made a big comeback this year with Bill Ryan of Supercross BMX making things happen, and he linked up with David Ramey. You might remember David Ramey did the Supercross side hack that we featured. Bill and David are back at it again with another crazy collaboration. They did this Torker 20-inch side hack for the Dirty Fest that happened a couple of months back. This one right here is based on the 2024 Torker Pro X frame, and David Ramey went to work on it and made some really cool side hack features on this. He didn't skimp on the parts, and just the design of this bike is off the chain. Now, David says when it was first decided that the relaunch of the infamous Torker brand was going to happen at 30 Fest 2, Bill Ryan, the caretaker of Torker, and Max and I knew that we needed a Torker side hack to bomb down the hill. So we took the new Torker Pro X prototype frame, welded it to a fully custom built side hack, and threw some of the best carbon fiber parts Supercross and Speedline make at it. David continues on with his inspiration for the build, and you can read the whole thing on sugarcane.com. Check out the inspiration, it's a really good story. But now that we know about some of the inspiration for this build, let's check out those parts, son! Once again, we have a 2024 Torker Pro X double XL prototype. So this is a double XL frame, and you don't really see many double XL frames when they do the side hack races. It's mostly just old bikes welded together with a side hack, or you might see those other generic side hacks that are pretty cheap and real heavy. This one right here is not as heavy, that's for sure. He's got the Speedline Elite carbon fiber forks to keep the bike rigid and light, the Supercross Carbon Pro bars on there with the 8.5 inch rise, 31.8 Speedline Elite stem with a 54mm reach, Speedline headset, Vans ODI grips, custom carbon fiber number plate. Even the number plate is carbon fiber. He's got those nice loud Speedline Killer Buzz wheels. Those are those real loud wheels that I've been rocking on my 20-inch. You've been seeing me ride around with those joints. I love those wheels. I love the sound they make, and they're real strong and fast. Tioga power blocks, the Speedline Elite carbon cranks. It's the hollow carbon fiber cranks that Speedline makes. A 45 tooth Renin chainring. Big shout out to George Costa. Pedaling Innovation catalyst pedals. Speedline V brakes. Speedline Elite brake lever. Supercross Elite pivotal seat. Supercross alloy pivotal seat post. Speedline quick release seat post clamp. A custom carbon fiber floorboard for the person who's in the side hack steps on that joint, and it's mad stiff and it's mad light. As of the Dirty Fest, and in this photo right here, they have a custom carbon wrap fender, but the plan is to make a fully carbon fender for the bike too, so that's going to be crazy. Pretty much everything on this bike is underneath the Supercross umbrella. So, you know, you got Torker, Speedline parts, Supercross parts, all of that stuff is under the same umbrella, under the same family. So big shout out to David Ramey and Bill Ryan for making this amazing build. This is probably the best side hack that was ever made, part wise, size wise, and everything else, man. So, you know, you could be a tall cat, hop on that bike and be comfortable and not be all cramped up on it. So Bill and Dave, if you're looking at this, definitely give us a hint on what the cost of this bike actually is. It'd be interesting to see how much this bike costs. It's got to be crazy. So the people actually came and gave this bike a rating. We got 15 people who gave this bike a rating, and the total color score is a 9.31, originality 9.58, parts 9.46, overall style 9.43, giving this bike a total overall rating score of a 9.45. That's right, this bike deserves that high rating, but why is it not in first place? I don't know. See how we said earlier, we got the Jayhawk and we also have the Airborne. Now we got this Torker Pro X side hack. Definitely is in the top 10 already for the year. It's got to be in the top 10. So I'm curious to find out where all these bikes are going to wind up at the end of the year, but it's only going to change if you guys come out and give these bikes a rating. So let's find out what bike made it to the #1 spot. What bike is #1 that the people came and rated and voted on to be the #1 bike? That bike is a 2022 IAM Cook Pro XL. Yup, that's right. Another IAM Cook Pro XL got the #1 spot because people came and rated on this bike. And this one was submitted by last year's winner, Paul Cracker Graham. Back at it again with the Fly IAM Cook bike right here. So let's get into the details on this bike right here. Let's see about the details. Purple and raw frame along with a red stem, black cranks, black handlebars. And he's got the wood grain fork on there, giving this bike a unique look, a unique style. He also did some custom art on the tires themselves. He put the cracker on the back. He also has blue hubs on his bike. He has an interesting set of different colors on his bike. So it's a lot going on there. A lot going on. Now, me personally, I would have finessed the colorway to match more of the frame. So I would definitely put more purple up in here to really make the bike pop and really look fresh. But this is what Paul did with his bike, and shout out to Paul for submitting it. He said, "Hi, my name is Cracker and I'm a BMX-aholic. Thank you to Tony and Erica at IAM Cook, Kip and Mean Rena at A Lot Racing, Jimmy Mack at Union Square, Kat Diggy and Alex at Blue Lotus Tattoo, Remo from Dyson BMX, Brian at MRP, the guys at Second Chance BMX, and my brothers at SOB MMC. So that's the inspiration. Cracker is a BMX-aholic and he likes those IAM Cook bikes. And he loves submitting them to Bike of the Day. How about that? Big shout out to Cracker for always showing love to the site and representing. You can check him out on his Sugarcane profile page as well. Alright, so once again we have an IAM Cook 20-inch Pro XL. He's got the anti-dagger forks with that wood grain wrap on it, Sun Envy rims, titanium spokes. He's rolling on some V-Speed boost tires, 180mm Pro Max HF cranks, a JW chain ring, Croupy bottom bracket, KMC hollow pin chain. He's got box 3 V-brakes, box 2 brake lever, box 1 brake pads, Cane Creek headset, 11 stem with titanium screws. He's got the box 3.8 handlebars with the 8-inch rise, Tioga Spider seat, tangent pivotal seat post, and his plate was done by Dyson BMX Designs by Mitchell Racing Plates. Let's go on down to the rating section and see what the people thought about this bike. So this bike had the most ratings out of all the bikes this month. He had 19 people come and give his bike a rating, and he also gave it some really high ratings. So the color on his bike is a 9.33, originality 9.55, parts 9.5, overall style 9.57, giving it an overall rating score of a 9.49. That's right. Raphael Xavier said, "Dope Scoot, the color combo and wood grain are a perfect match. Only the Cracker Cook do that." Anthony Maganello said he loves the setup. Cracker did a great job. Also have Craig on here who said these IAM Cook frames are so sick. Cracker also says that the IAM Cook frames ride nice too. Cam came in with a comment, said he's not a huge fan of the forks, but damn, he loves these frames. And that's it for 2024 Bike of the Month. Make sure you keep submitting those bikes. This is a fun little series, man. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Definitely let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that said, this is Crazy Al Kane representing that hip-hop, BMX, and other dope treats. If you don't get it, you'll never understand, all right? Back to you, Billy.